Have you ever been the leader of a team or project and thought, I'll just do it myself, it's easier that way? Many of us believe that doing everything ourselves is the best answer. Although that sounds commendable, it's impossible to really do everything yourself, and trying to do the impossible doesn't lead to success. Delegating tasks, as scary as that seems, is key to not only the growth of a business, but also the growth of you as a person and as a leader. Today, I'll give you some tips on how to delegate effectively. My name is Noel, and this is Jotform. Welcome to Delegation Nation. Let's dive in. Let's be frank, delegating is scary. If you're the one in the position to delegate, then you're also the one to bear the responsibility if things go wrong. That concern alone freezes many potential leaders from growing and team members from truly thriving. If leaders don't trust anyone else to do the task, all the while doubting their own ability to teach someone how to do it, productivity will become stale. This potential dead end is a real fear, but you can avoid it by learning these delegation best practices and what to keep an eye on when delegating to your team. Think back to when you took your first steps in your career journey. Did you emphasize your work ethic? Your willingness to tackle any task that needed to be done? You likely did, and that's okay. You quite reasonably assume those are the traits employers look for in a candidate. Often enough, that same work ethic and willingness to take ownership of your work is what earns you a promotion. This is a time when organizations begin to identify genuine leaders. This is when the shift occurs. They focus less on what you as an individual get done and focus more on what your team gets done. Delegation is the ultimate leadership skill. It requires having the judgment, intuition, and organizational skills to find trustworthy members of your team to assign work to. Lean on your team. It's a major step in becoming an effective leader. The biggest barrier with delegation is the fear that the person you delegate to won't do the job right, which makes sense. You've worked hard to get where you are and want the job done the way you do it. However, not overcoming this fear puts you at risk of becoming a control freak or tyrannical micromanager. Teams that have leaders like that tend to be unhappy and often frustrated. What this type of dysfunctional workplace leads to is nothing but poor morale, disengagement, and a team that walks on eggshells instead of charging confidently ahead. High turnover rates tend to be the result. A leader may be reluctant to delegate for several reasons, and all aren't inherently negative. Perhaps they simply enjoy doing the tasks themselves. It's often comforting to do a familiar task. Perhaps the staff is already working hard and they don't want to pile more work onto their plates. Less altruistically, the leader might be reluctant to delegate tasks to make themselves indispensable. The worst motive, perhaps, is because the leader doesn't have faith in their team. They believe their employees aren't motivated to do the work or aren't genuinely committed. Corporate America felt a giant shift into remote work during the COVID-19 pandemic. Although research touted the benefits of more flexible work arrangements and technological availability that makes working from home capable, it took a global pandemic for companies to give it a go. Generally, the companies that shifted to remote work saw improved productivity. It turns out employees are more focused on what they need to get done when they don't have to worry about whether they look busy when the boss walks by, or what pants to put on in the morning. More focus means more work can get done, so delegate away. Micromanaging undermines morale and erodes confidence. Delegating tasks to employees is a powerful sign that you trust the specific team member and believe in their skills and judgment. What a confidence booster! And the short of it all, delegating reaps better results and more done than hoarding the work or micromanaging how it's accomplished. What's even better is when you delegate tasks, benefits flow in both directions. The person who assigned the task can focus on the other work they need to get done and gain confidence in their ability to assess employees and match people with work that fits their skill set. Meanwhile, the employee they've assigned the task to feels valued and gets to develop a new skill. Win-win. Take an entrepreneur for an example. They just launched a new company. They now have the responsibility of keeping the books, making sales calls, greeting customers, doing the taxes, and every other essential task. How exhausting! As the company grows, they'll hire a sales team, front of house team, and tax experts to do these necessary tasks better than they can. Sure, delegating boosts your leadership skills and productivity, but it's also great at helping your employees develop new skills. Your first impulse upon delegating a new task to a team member is to give it to someone who you know is absolutely capable of doing it right. This makes sense, but it can also cause you to miss an opportunity to grow the skills of your team. Instead, when you're ready to take a task off your to-do list, consider who on your team is ready for more responsibility. Ask yourself these questions. Who is capable of learning how to do the task and would appreciate the opportunity? Is there someone on your team who you sense is becoming less engaged because they are no longer challenged by their job? Who do you think would become a long-term employee if given more responsibility? It's less important that they know how to do the task and more important that they are eager to learn how. Delegating is all about measured risks. The reality is there's a possibility that whoever you assign the task to won't succeed the first time. They might also not do it as well as you when they first start. Training someone how to do the task is an investment of time. If that takes longer than anticipated, leaders might conclude that they can't invest in building their team and continue to do every task themselves. Delegating involves investing time and energy in the beginning in hopes that in the long term it'll allow you to focus on the strategic work of growing your company. Every business wants employees who conscientiously strive to improve their performance and skills. Not only does delegating give your team the opportunities to develop skills, but also improves their performance, leading to new opportunities for them. Delegating tasks and following through with supervision, guidance, and instruction, no micromanaging here, helps employees accomplish the task. The bonus for you here is built-in advantage of revealing who on your team is eager for more responsibility and who could complete more complex tasks. A Citel survey found that 88% of Gen Z employees want their employers to provide them with formal training programs, but 25% say they haven't taken advantage of any of those training opportunities because they don't feel that it's important to their managers for them to do so. If your team seems disengaged and unmotivated, the problem may be management and not the employees. So you have eager employees and plenty of tasks to delegate. Now the major task at hand is matching the job with the team member. For simpler tasks, the right person might simply be the person on your team with the least amount of work already on their plate. For more complex tasks, you have to be more aware of your team dynamic. What are each person's individual skills? What challenges them? What seems to frustrate individuals on your team? What pushes someone on your team to master a new skill? Worst case scenario, a team member is unable to succeed at the task you delegated to them. Instead of becoming angry or frustrated, the best response is to thank them for the effort and delegate the work to someone else. A sincere effort to learn what people can do will almost inevitably reveal what they can't do. Make sure to delegate other tasks to that person to signal you haven't lost confidence in them. This will likely motivate them to achieve more. Being worried about how much time and effort you'll have to invest in delegation before the long-term productivity payoff is valid. It requires time you feel you don't have to train, coach, and supervise employees to do more and different jobs. However, there are ways to streamline the delegation process. Jotform's Employee Task List template is a great resource to use. It's free online and can help you assign tasks to employees, monitor progress, and set deadlines. Sharing the spreadsheet with your employees makes the process transparent for mutual accountability. Delegating is a hard muscle to flex, but just like with any good workout, once you put in the time and effort to improve yourself, you'll see the results. Delegating will make you a better leader, and your team will thank you for it. Let's do a quick review. Delegating is an essential skill to hone if you want to be a great leader. Make sure to note and overcome any barriers in order to effectively delegate. Implement delegation as a way to build up your company as a whole. Help yourself, but also help your employees. With effective delegation, they can develop new skills and take ownership of new opportunities. It's also important to appropriately match tasks with the right team member for best outcomes. Don't forget to create tangible ways to track delegated tasks, such as an employee task list. Now it's time to let your leader flag fly. Go build that dream team and delegate a few tasks while you're at it. Thanks for watching. I'm Noel, and this is Jotform.